Hey guys, Shinmiri here with a deck guide for you guys today on Francesca Dwarves. If you want the full deck list, or if you want a text version of this video guide, just find the links down below. Let's talk about this Francesca Dwarf deck, shall we? This is a fresh take on the classic Filavandrel Dwarves deck. Filavandrel has normally been the leader for Dwarves since Homecoming, but the dwarf archetype is extremely strong in a long round, but has a lot of cards that are duds in a short round. Previously, the weakness of the Filavandrel dwarf deck was being bled in round 2 and then losing a short round 3 even with card advantage. However, the introduction of the dual faction cards Novigradian Justice and Cleaver's Muscle now gives us the option of using Francesca as the leader for the dwarf archetype, which significantly helps our short round capabilities while simultaneously bolstering our long round ceiling as well. So let's take a look at the deck. Novigradian Justice is the big card that this deck now revolves around, and you'll usually be wanting to play Francesca on this card. So what does it do? Play a bronze unit from your deck. If it was a dwarf, spawn a copy of it and summon it to the same row. Novigradian Justice has 3 viable targets in this deck. It has Dwarven Mercenary as a damage-dealing engine. It has the Mahakam Defenders as a stickier, proactive engine. And then it has Cleaver's Muscle as a safe 10-point play with 2 shields. Justice is a very flexible card. Generally, it has a floor of 10 proactive points, and it can be much more than that if our opponent doesn't have the right answers. We'll generally be using our leader to replay Justice, and we're including Lacerate as a backup option for Francesca in case we don't draw into the Justice. Lacerate's a cheap 7 provision card that can often get you a lot of value in a long round as well. And in some cases, like matchups against Swarm, for example, Lacerate might actually be the better choice. And some players tend to stack their range row against Scoia'tael in order to play around Dwarven Skirmisher, and that plays right into our Lacerate as well. So pretty much every single dwarf card has been thrown into this deck, except for the few super niche ones like Yarpen Zigrin or Xavier Morin. And the majority of the dwarfs are better in longer rounds and not as good as in short rounds, like you can see from Gabor being an engine, Zoltan depending on the number of dwarves, same with Barclay, they both depend on the number of dwarves you have, so they're better in longer rounds. Dennis can boost entire row by 1, that's better in long rounds. And then of course your Doppler, or your Defenders, Dopplers, and Mercenary all like long rounds as well. Since we are playing Dwarves, we're also naturally including Scoia'tael's signature carryover package of Dwarven Agitator, Sheldon Skaggs, Gabor Zigrin, and Ithlin. Ideally, we want to set up our carryover in round 1, minus Gabor, which we prefer to play in round 2. But we also don't want these low-tempo plays to result in us losing the first round on even cards when we have to go first. Therefore, we include Doppler in the deck to help us get a big tempo play for a relatively cheap 6 provision card. So what's the general game plan with this deck? This deck is usually favored in a long round 3, so we don't mind losing round 1. Most of the time, we actually prefer to lose round 1 as long as we're getting out with 1 card advantage. In round 1, we want to set up our carryover and thin out Mahakam Volunteers if possible. When going first, we may have to commit a high-tempo play like Doppler or Carlo Varese to compensate for our low-tempo Dwarven Agitator play. If we don't have to worry about losing on even, then we can play our bad bronzes until we get to 7 cards in hand. Now, we'll generally want to pass in round 1 when we have 7 cards, so that we have the maximum hand size at the start of round 2. This benefits our deck in multiple ways. First, it helps us get the most value out of our Dopplers. Second, it gives us more turns to play carryover cards such as Gabor and any hand buffers we might end up drawing into in round 2. We're a lot more likely to have both Agitator and Sheldon in our hand in round 2 as compared to round 1. And then finally, the third reason that we want to pass and have a big hand size at the start of round 2 is that if our opponent tries to bleed us in round 2, we'll have a much easier time defending a longer round since a lot of our dwarves are better in longer rounds. This makes it less likely for us to get 2-0'd and more likely for us to get ahead in points and keep card advantage for round 3. So at the start of round 2, we want to try to get a feel if the opponent is planning on bleeding us or not. most of the time we should be able to tell based on the first card that they play in round 2. And also what leader they are, what kind of archetype they are. If they seem uninterested in bleeding, then we can just play more carryover in round 2 and thin with volunteers if we haven't yet. Another big benefit of losing round 1 is playing Gabor Zigrin in round 2 uncontested after our opponent passes. If we had won round 1, our opponent would always have a chance to answer our Gabor play in round 2. Gabor represents at least 5 points of carryover, and usually a lot more than that, because it is also an engine and a dwarf body, so it's a huge deal if it sticks. If the opponent seems like they want to bleed deep in round 2 instead, then we'll have to commit long round engines like Defender, Mercenary, and potentially even Novigradian Justice on one of these engines. We usually don't want to use our leader in round 2 unless we're being threatened with a 2-0. There is one exception to this. If we have not drawn Justice yet, which means we might never actually get a chance to use our leader for it, then we can consider using our leader for last raid in round 2, if that will make a difference in card advantage going into round 3. And as round 2 dwindles down and round 3 starts looking shorter and shorter, we want to make sure we play out our cards like Mahakam Guard, Zoltan Chive, and Barclay Els before we get into a really short round 3, because they'll be bad in a short round 3. Now, if we do manage to get into a long round 3, we should be favored. Our most important decision at this point is what to use Novigradian Justice on. This depends heavily on the matchup, and it helps to be knowledgeable about our opponent's deck and the meta. If our opponent is playing an engine deck, and or a deck with few or no immediate removal options, then Dwarven Mercenary is likely our best target, because we'll want to get engine value from that, and we'll be able to use the Dwarven Mercenary to remove our opponent's threats. If our opponent can easily remove our 3-power mercenaries, then maybe Mahakam Defender is a better option. Still a very threatening long-round engine that has to be answered, and it's pretty hard to remove. We can potentially activate 4 defenders at the same time by placing them all in the range row and then boosting the row with Dennis Cranmer. If our opponent damages a defender to turn it off, we can reboost it with Paulie Dahlberg or Barclay Els. If we believe our opponent has Tall Punish and we want to play around it, or if we just don't have any ways to activate our defenders, then we can go with the safe play and Justice out Cleaver's Muscle for a respectable 10-point play with 2 shields. It often helps to have an idea of which unit we want to Justice as early as possible, sometimes even before the round 1 mulligan, because we'll try to not play that unit from hand and mulligan it back into the deck. For example, if we realize that defenders and mercenaries are not good against a certain removal-heavy matchup, then maybe we want to make sure to keep Cleaver's Muscle in the deck for Justice, right? Alright, so how about potential tech cards? So there's a couple different variations you can run for this deck. When talking about tech cards, we got to keep in mind that the Dwarf tag is worth a lot in this list due to synergies with Doppler, Dwarven Mercenary, Barclay, Zoltan Chive, Gabor, and Mahakam Guard. I estimate the Dwarf tag to be worth around 3 points on average, so we should definitely take that into consideration when thinking about replacing a Dwarf with a non-Dwarf or vice versa. So the first potential tech card is Pyrotechnician, really cheap Dwarf. Pyrotech is a card that we don't actually want to play, but it is the last remaining 4 provision Dwarf that is currently not in our deck. We can consider downgrading other cards to Pyrotech if we need provisions elsewhere. So it would basically be mulligan fodder, but in general, it should be slightly better than Dragoon or any other non-Dwarf 4 provision card. So the next card that we want to consider is Great Oak. Great Oak is pretty good. It's one of Scoia'tael's best big provision or high provision cards. It's just really good value, fine in a short round, but super good in a long round. It has good synergy with the deck since we naturally want a row stack for Dennis Cranmer and Guard. We also can fill up a row relatively quickly, even in a short round, using Justice, our leader, or Mahakam Volunteers. Unfortunately, Oak is really expensive and requires us to make provision cuts elsewhere. The best way I found to fit in Oak is to remove Carlo Varese and Paulie Dahlberg to play Oak and a second Mahakam Guard. Alright, so next up we've got Roach, I played Roach pretty often in the Philavandrel version of Dwarves previously. Roach can help us with tempo in round 1, which when we go first, and sometimes it can help us in tempo in round 2 when we go second. Roach is additional thinning, which is both good and bad. It increases our chances to draw key cards like Justice, but also makes it more likely that we'll have to play an extra bad card because we'll have one fewer good card in our deck. And Roach is also another mulligan liability, and this deck already kind of has some mulligan liabilities with Volunteer and then your Justice targets. Finally, we've got Ida. Ida, she's not a dwarf. She is an artifact removal that also provides an extra boost to reactivate our defenders. So she's got some synergy with the deck, but she loses a lot of synergy because she doesn't have the dwarf tag. And we said earlier the dwarf tag is worth about 3 points on average. So it's tough to justify putting Ida in the deck, but it might be worth it if the meta is very artifact heavy. All right, so that's it for this the deck guide portion of this video. We've got a few really good games for you to watch here to give you some example of the gameplay. The first 2 games are against control type decks. The first one's against Ardal, and then we have one against Crach. And then the third game is against Henselt, which is more of an engine matchup. And in the third game, we're playing the Great Oak version of the deck. So you'll see both of them in action. All right, so hope you guys liked the deck guide. Hope you guys liked the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and enjoy. We'll see you next time. Nice. We got the how many? He's 5 strength Ardal. 5 strength Ardal. Okay. We're going second. So we're looking for bad cards to throw away. There's Agitator, there's Guard, there's Skirmisher. I think we want to get rid of Cleaver's Muscle because we're probably going to want a Cleaver's Muscle, Novigradian Justice. And Mercenary is probably something that we're going to want to throw away in this round. I think I mulligan the Guard. We want to throw away Mercenary in this round, I think, because he's Ardal, he's Nilfgaard, he has Seas, he has a lot of answers. So I don't think these ever stick. So we just throw away now when we don't care. We play the Agitator on Dennis. Yeah, so he swears me, that's fine. I don't really care. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do, like pass? Is he gonna pass on 7? You think that's a thing? Should I Carlo him just to make sure that he can't pass on 7? That's a pretty expensive. Like, what happens? I play a 2, right? I'm down 13. He plays like 1 from this, 1 from this. I'm down 15. He plays like a 6. I'm down 21. I should be fine. I should be fine. What are you gonna do, stab me? I think we're buffing this guy. If he plays a really high tempo play, I can maybe just play the Carlo next turn for 1 point less. Yeah, so that's not a problem, right? We can just play a 4. We're down 14, we're down 15 points. We need 15 in 3 after this if he passes. And that's fine.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
You need to win round 1 because Ardal is very reactive. I don't think we need to win round 1. Even if he's really reactive, it's not really going to make a difference if... Like, it's going to make a very small difference if he has to go first or second, I think. There's a lot of reasons you want to lose round 1. There's so many benefits to losing round 1, and it's in my deck guide that I wrote. 1, you want to be able to play Gabor in round 2 uncontested. 2, you want to have more time in round 2, more chances to draw into your carryover in like Sheldon and hand buff. I don't want this card, I think. Or I could get rid of Lacerate, since I have Justice already. I don't have a way to buff him. Oh, I have this. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Lacerate, I think. This one's great.
Off to the front yet again.
Okay, so let's play I'm trying to think if we want to play this first or afterwards. He plays 8 tactics, right? 8 tactics. He's probably not playing Shillard. I think we want to play the Doppler first so that we have more options on what to play. Like we can play a dwarf afterwards and not get... Oh, I guess this plays as an 8. It plays into Leo. Ardal shouldn't play Leo though. Maybe they do. Maybe people are playing power removal.
Nigh is the time of the white frost and white light.
If he passes on 7, we're fine, yeah. We should be fine in a long round 3. Okay, cool. Alright, so what is the plan now? What are we justicing out? Are we justicing out defenders? Or are we justicing out 2 copies, 2 double justice on muscle? I don't think we... I think what we'll do is the first copy will justice out muscle, the second copy will justice out defenders. Because I think the first one, if we justice out defenders on the first one, we'll have 4 defenders on the board. And then he'll be able to like super lock all of them with Ox. You think 4 defenders? Just don't care about the super lock? Getting rid of that. This plays hard into Peter, but we're gonna be playing into Peter anyways. Go muzzle and leader the muscle. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Let's get rid of muscle. And then, oh man, I want to take a risk. Do I? This card is pretty bad. But I have a brick here. Okay. I don't know about this. This is probably dead. I'm not gonna need this as a 9, right? So we've got Dennis. So we're gonna play this first. Okay. 9 for 6, not bad. 4 defenders that might get locked or 2 muscles that don't do anything anyways. Yeah. Alright, so there's the Peter. I want to play something small first. So what do I want to buff with this? I don't want to buff this to 5. I think I want to buff this to 7 so that he doesn't have a 5 to steal. I don't need to buff this to 9. Even if he steals one of my defenders, it's going to be a 5 going to a 6, and then I can kill it with Sheldon. I don't want to merc first, do I? Doesn't it just literally just die? And then I'm delaying, like, I'm playing the merc, it dies, and I'm delaying how early I get my defenders out. I don't think that's correct. I don't think we want to merc first. Because the merc is never going to survive. It's never actually going to do anything, so why play it early? Bait out Seret first for super lock.
I bring fair wishes.
I think it's unlikely to bait out Seret. Alright, we're killing that. We're gonna cleaver that. I think it's very unlikely that we'll be able to bait out Seret. What do you think? Like what are the cards that we can use to bait out Seret? This is not gonna bait out Seret. This is gonna bait out like Letho. Maybe. He's used his Swears already. Definitely want to kill this first, so that he can't improve his hand. We want to prevent him from getting the super lock combo, Sarah and Ox. If he doesn't have both Sarah and Ox in his hand, then our defenders are gonna go crazy. Would you say that with Justice, Francesca is a strictly better choice for a dwarf deck than Filavandrel? Yes. I think she is strictly better. Well, I mean, like, not technically strictly better. There's got to be some super niche situation where Filavandrel could be better. But I think, like, large majority, like 90 plus 95% of the time, Francesca's going to be better. She's just got so much, like, she helps you so much in the short round 3 because she's a leader that's 10 points, and Filavandrel's a leader that's like 1 or 0 points in a short round 3 because you only have like 1 or 0 cards left over from round 2. And she's also better in a long round because in a long round she gets you 2 engines. And she also gets you 2 dwarves. Filavandrel gets you 0 dwarves. Francesca gets you 2 dwarves, which is worth like 6 more points probably in the ideal long round. Alright, what are we doing?
Wanna flip my axe?
That's a snap yes if I ever heard one. Okay, he's having an assassination. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's do it. I wonder... I mean, I'm kind of committed now. But I wonder if I should have played Volunteers first. So that my Dennis is bigger. My Dennis would be 2 points bigger, but I'd also be delaying this by 1 turn. We're up 25 points right now. Super lock. Okay. Okay, super lock. So he's got Sarah in hand for sure. Don't know about Letho. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwarves right now. I want to play around like treason, right? So he's got 8-point treason here. I can shut it down a little bit by playing this here. I don't need to play anything else in the back row.
We'll put Mahakam boots to Imperial arses.
Paulie, then Mercenary? No, because then the Mercenary will come out as a 5 and he's just going to steal it. It's going to make his muzzle better and it's going to make his Ardal better. We want a Paulie to buff the Zoltan. Or we want a Paulie to buff this. He's trying to set this up to a 5, right? I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it because we already have... Even if I Paulie here to buff this up, maybe he gets frustrated. Okay. Next turn I buff it to an 8, it bleeds back down to a 7, so I'm not playing into Leo. Treason for 6. Well, I guess treason for 8 there. Okay, it's fine. I have a lot of dwarves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No Barclay, unfortunately. Barclay would be 12 points right now. Probably even more. I know he has Sarah in hand. I'm not going to get an 8 from him, right? He doesn't play tall, so I think we just go with this now. I guess it gives them 2 5s. It gives them a muzzle target and an Ardal target. It shouldn't really matter that much. Have you tried Gwent to play Gwent without card voice lines, but with card sounds only? No, I haven't tried that. Hey, he played as Sarah. That's good. Maybe this lives.
We must stick together.
Hey, good evening, Sebki. Vangi, nice try. Oh, nice. That was really good that we killed the guy with the shield. It's actually really good. I don't think it really matters what we hit here. It's a pretty big play. And we got extra points out of the mercenary by being super patient with it. Had we played it earlier, it always loses. It always dies. We win by 20. We're up 22. Like, we can't lose here. Nice. Playing Gwent without card voice lines, but with card sounds only. Why is it like glitchy? Is it buggy? Sure, we can try it for one game. It'll probably be weird though. There's nothing, right? Was there anything that could have won that? He needed 23. Even charming our biggest unit doesn't do it. Yeah, I think it'll just be really strange. I mean, let's see here. What is it? No voices, but sound effects? We could try it. Crypt Drifter, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Rope Club for the first time. Sub hype for Crypt Drifter. Appreciate you using for your free Twitch Prime sub on me this month. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Hey, Fugo. Shoop into DD a few turns ago? Yeah, that might have been able to beat us. Crach, okay. So our mercenaries never live against Crach, but our defenders can actually do good work against Crach. So I think we want to... Oh, we're going first, and we have a really bad hand. Holy crap. Okay, so... I want to pitch defender so that I can get multiple defenders out. And then I want to pitch... I guess... We're pitching... Muscle. And... Mercenary, because it's super bad. Oh god, this hand is terrible. This is really bad. I think we're gonna... Oh. If we were on red, maybe this was okay, but this hand is so bad. I have so many bronzes. Long time watcher, not much of a chatter, just enjoy the show. Thanks, man. I'm gonna play 2 Dopplers. I kind of have to play 2 Dopplers. There's no way I can get out of this round with this sort of hand if I don't play 2 Dopplers, I think. I don't even have any carryover set up. Super bad. I'm wondering if I need to play more than 1 more card. Like, normally we want a 10 card round too. But because my hand is so bad, I feel like I have the need to play... I feel like I have the need to play, more of these bad cards in this round if I can afford to. I'm gonna play this because this is a card that's always super bad against Crach. But in round 1 on blue coin, it might actually live. And then depending on what he plays here, I'm gonna see if I can afford to play like a 7 tempo skirmisher. 7 tempo because it plays for 5 and then we get 2 pings on this. So we'll be up 17. 16 with the leader ping. Nice thing about this right now is he can't get Bloodthirst. Like, these are 1 base strength and this is boosted by 5. It's really hard for him to get Bloodthirst anywhere. Geralted. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm up 3, 4. This cancels out. 5, 10. I'm up 10. I'll do it. What do we do here? I mean, we gotta take the ping. Ping this, right? Maybe we have to play lacerate this round. Who knows? I'm thinking if I want to thin out volunteers or not. I think I do, because my hand is so bad, and I drew so many bronzes that I probably need to thin out volunteers. I haven't really noticed anything in terms of the voice lines. Like, the voice lines are missing, but nothing super weird is happening right now. So he's getting 2 more points from this. If I play 1 more card, he gets 2 more points from this. So we're up 3.
19.
4. 4 plus 6. We're up 10 again. Oh my god. This is rough. Maxim Hugo with the 19-month resub. Holy crap, Maxim Hugo, thank you so much. 19! I think you're the first to 19 years. Okay, I think we're out now. So if he now if we pass, he might think about dry passing because he'll be at 4 cards, and then we can maybe get a free hand buff or a free Gabor. I have 0 carryover, which is really problematic. But if we can get a long round, we might be okay. Nice. Okay. If he pushes us, I don't want the agitator, right? Let me think. I'm gonna mulligan this first. I think this is the first mulligan. And I guess this is a second mulligan. Okay, Sheldon. So if he dry passes here... Okay, well, he's not dry passing. Annoying. Okay, so what are we gonna justice? I think we're gonna justice Cleaver's muscle. I think we're gonna open with that. We don't have any good ways to buff our defenders, at least not yet. I could also open with Agitator, but that's really, really slow. Like, if I open with Novigradian Justice, it doesn't give him anything to hit. He has to lose points by hitting, right, you know? He has to lose points by hitting the shield off. If he wants to get value from his Crach. Could also think about playing this early for immunity. Oh my god, he still had Roach in the deck? He played... feels SK, man. He played 0 golds in round 1 and we were like... We were so worried about losing on even though he played 0 golds in round 1. Okay, I didn't play a gold either. Yeah, but I played 2 Dopplers. And I had tactical advantage. I think I still want to play this after he passes, but I'm worried about getting 2-0'd. Will I get 2-0'd? Maybe not. Babylon's gone. This would be maybe a nice time to play Paulie. He has Hjalmar on a 7. But he's gonna muzzle this. Maybe not a good time to play Paulie. Bracing for the muzzle. Bracing. Oh, okay, Jenge. Okay. See, I don't have time to play this. I need to kill this. This is so annoying. Okay. We're gonna do this. He's probably gonna kill our dwarf. Gabor then Agitator? No, because if I Gabor now, I have to play him for immunity. I want to play Gabor for resilience. If I play Gabor for resilience, he's gonna kill it. Right? I'm pretty sure he still has removal. Hey, Fledgias89, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Rope Club, my friend. Glad you're enjoying the stream. So we're killing the priest. He passed. Okay, cool. Now we can play this for resilience. Uncontested. Alright. We're probably going to want to get rid of the last rate. We're able to get 2 more dwarves from Francesca, so these aren't going to be that bad. Oh, the draws, though. The draws. Okay. I want to get rid of last rate first, I think. Jesus. And then I think we're getting rid of this. I think we're getting rid of this, even though... And I can maybe just settle for double defender instead of double Cleaver's muscle. This Dwarven mercenary is so bad. Ithlin? Ithlin. I want to play a dwarf first, because I want to buff this up to a 6. So I think we're going muscle. I'll make this harder to remove, because this is an engine. Nice. Okay. Good. Good. Things are actually looking pretty good so far. We spent Sheldon. We spent 1 Novigradian Justice in round 2. But we managed to get the Gabor carryover, which is going to be worth like 7, 8, 9, 10 points. 10 points, 11 points because of this, 12 points because of this, 13 points because of this. Okay, never mind. He had the removal, but... Damn, that is a loud air raid. So I'm thinking we remove this. Wait, hold on. He doesn't have leader this turn, right? So we're gonna go Francesca. We're gonna go Francesca, Novigradian Justice, into defenders, and then buff one of them. Should I have gone mercenary? I'm starting to regret this defender decision really quickly. I think I should have gone mercenary. This is going really tall. I didn't have to go tall. I think I should have gone mercenary, actually. Like, he's used 1 primal savagery. Hasn't used scowl. What are pros and cons of this deck? Pro is a really good long round. Really good long round. Con is sometimes tricky to get a short round. Sometimes tricky if you have to play a short round 3. And also another con is like vulnerable to losing on even in round 1 if you're on blue. Just gonna kill this while I can. Then last play this on this, and then last play this. I have a tall unit anyways. We're up 20 right now. Alright, I closed the window. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot in here. Dwarves can't play short rounds. Ironic. Yeah, I know, right? So we've got a 9, and we've got like probably a 6 or a 5 here. Yikes! Oh god, that's bad. That's quite bad. I should have stacked. I should have stacked to like Feign Great Oak or something. How would you rate the Arrakis Queen deck you played yesterday? I mean, I only played a couple of games, but it felt pretty good. We did pretty well with it. Okay, so he doesn't have tall removal because he hit this, right? So we should win with no tall removal. Easy! Easy! Nice game. So we didn't get a super long round 3, but like Francesca just helped us. Like I think if we were Philip we might have lose this game. Francesca's so good. Like, how do you quantify? Let's try to quantify how many points Francesca was there in round 3. One of our defenders got 12 value. The other defender, no, hold on. One of the defenders got to 12, but we buffed it by 4. So it got to 8, basically. It got 8 value by itself. The other defender got 4 value, so that was 12 points. Francesca was 12 points there, and it provided us 2 extra dwarf bodies on guard and on Barclay. So that's another 4 points, right? And I'm not even counting Gabor, because Gabor ended up getting removed. So Francesca was worth 16 points there. And Philevandrel would have been worth like about 0. Or maybe, no, maybe a little bit more. Philevandrel maybe would have been worth like 2 or 3 points. But Francesca ended up being 16. It's pretty crazy. Oh boy, here we go again. What did I change from the Gwent deck? I took out Carlo, Varese, and I took out Paulie Dahlberg. I put in Great Oak and another Mahakam guard. I'm not really sure if it's better. In this matchup, I think Carlo Varese is better. It gives us more like instant removal. We're going first. I don't want this. I need justice. Where's my justice? I mean, I would probably keep this. Whatever. Maybe I should have cut the Doppler. We demand justice. Oh, these are small Dopplers. This is the smallest Doppler I've ever had in this deck so far. Have I decided what game will replace Baba as you as the other game yet? No, I haven't. It might be Dota Underlords. I haven't really played any of it. I played the tutorial, but I want to give it a try at some point. I don't know when, though. It's a rematch? Okay. These Dopplers are small. I think last time I played 8-point Dopplers. Are we gonna lose on even? I think we might lose on even. I might have to play like Ithlin next turn instead of Agitator. So let's see, he's getting 1 more point from this, 1 more point from this, that's 2, so he's up 2 right now. If I play this, I'll be up 10, I'll be up 8. He'll need to play a 9. That's kind of hard for him. Like, how much is Adept? He wants to play an Adept next, right? Or another Cintrian Spellweaver. Adept is worth 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, that's 5. 5 plus, I think there's 2 more points here. Adept is worth 7. Adept is worth... Adept was worth 5 plus 2 from these. So I need to... So Adept doesn't get him ahead of Agitator. Oh my god, that's so risky. Adept ties against Agitator. Okay, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And like something like another Spellweaver here plays for 4 plus 3. Spellweaver also ties. Second Spellweaver also ties. Adept ties. So I think... Oh man, it's really risky. Like something like Botchling beats us. Just Ithlin, why risk? Because we're greedy motherfuckers, right? If only I had 2 extra points from these Dopplers. Alright. So he's getting ahead. Yep, we need 1 more point each on the Dopplers. Maybe I shouldn't have maybe I underestimated him. Maybe I underestimated him. He was a pretty good player from our last match. I don't think he would have let us get away with it that easily. Maybe I should have played Ithlin. What now? Is it... Are we resigning to losing on even now? If so, I should play this, right? Yep, we got punished. Is there a realistic scenario that doesn't lose on even? I mean, if the Dopplers were a little bit bigger, if the Dopplers were 1 point bigger each, we wouldn't lose on even. Or if we had played Ithlin instead, we wouldn't lose on even, right? We just got a little too greedy. By playing a 2. I think we're just playing, like, all our garbage cards. Should I... Should I pass here? So that he can't drive past me? Or should I play 1 more card so that he can drive past me? If he drive passes me, I think we could win. Even down a card. You know what I'm saying? If I play a card here, what would I play? I would probably play Lacerate. I think we should play 1 extra card so he does drive past me. I think we either play Lacerate or we play Dennis. Like he's gonna drive pass. I mean, he might. He might actually drive pass. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating him again. He's playing a bunch of garbage. Man, it's kind of sucks that he had so many garbage cards. I actually wish his hand was better here. So that he had to play more cards. More good cards. Cards that weren't like Sergeant and Envoy and Revenant. If he wanted to win the round. Maybe we get 2-0. We'll see. I don't even have justice in my hand, so that's a problem, right? Hey. Please pass. Please pass. I don't think he's passing. If he was gonna pass, he would have done it already, I think. He's hovering over cards. Yep. So we kill one. What are we justicing? I don't think we're justicing mercenaries. Because I can't kill this. Right? He has the initiative here. I don't think we're justicing mercenaries. I think our first justice is on Cleaver's muscle. I think our first justice is on muscle, and our second justice is on defenders or mercenaries. If we do need to take a second justice. We're stacking front row, I believe. I'm gonna do this first. Make it awkward for him to remove stuff. I don't want to play volunteer first, because if I play volunteer first, he can remove them. And then my Zoltan is not as good, and my Treant is not as good. Like, this is annoying for him to remove. If he doesn't remove them, I can, like, Zoltan the Arbalist. I want to try to save Francesca for round 3. Come on, man. He's killing the dwarf. No, he's just setting up for Sabrina. We know that he runs Sabrina. I need to kill this first. This is the most threatening one, right? I could have also buffed this so that he can't... No, I wouldn't be able to stop his Hengitis sword. He's gonna get his Hengitis eventually. I think I'd rather kill his Revenant. I know he will sword the spy. Yeah, I know. I can't stop it, though. If I had a mercenary on the board... No, mercenary can't even attack ally units. Well, we're up right now, but we're not getting card advantage. At best, we'll go into round 3 on even. But we have leader and he doesn't. That's pretty important, right? We have leader and he doesn't. Rip all our dwarves. Oh man. Rip dwarves. We're doing okay. He didn't have Hengitis sword. We seem to be doing okay. He only kills one dwarf here, I think. So then we have 3 dwarves and we can kill Zoltan. We can use Zoltan Chive to kill something. We want to get rid of the Zoltan Chive because it's bad in a short round. Like, he really only has 1.5 engines on the board. Can't kill that, which is annoying. If I want to kill that, I have to use my leader. It's just not worth it. I wish I had one more unit on the board, or one more dwarf on the board, then I could kill this. I wonder if it was worth it to kill this one instead. Do I ever want to play Oak? No. If I play Oak, he's gonna get a Revenant. If I do this, he would have Vincent as his last card. And he Vincent's this. Or this. And then we should be able to win with Oak. Oak is 11. His Vincent plus his Revenant spawn's not gonna be 11. I think we win this round. Or I think we actually win this game. I'm pretty sure we win this game. I don't know how much I have left to me, but I have leader for 10 points. I have leader for 10 points and even cards. We resisted the bleed really well, yeah. Without using leader. That's decent enough to keep. What do I want to... I think I'm going to open Mercenary, by the way. I want that. Oh, come on, man. Oh my god. Whatever, it's fine. So, what's the play here? We go Francesca for Mercenaries, then play another Mercenary, right? Francesca for Mercenary and play another Mercenary. He doesn't have any more removal. He can't do 3 damage. I don't think he plays Damned Sorceress. I want to have some removal of my own, because he still has threats left. He still has threats left. So these two have 2 charges each, this one has 1. These two are going to have 3 charges, and this one's going to have 2, so I have 7 damage next turn. I think we win. Why not Gabor first? Because I want damage. I want damage more than I want boost. We're up against Henselt, which plays threats. Damage is much better. Yeah, typically... Oh, he gave up. Yep. It's over! Boom! Losing on even in round 1. We just needed to resist the bleed. We resist the bleed, keep our leader, even cards. Man. That was fun. That was a good game.